such in Sanskrit. Sanskrit language, so far as I know, doesn't have any proper word for environment or ecology also. There are some other concepts, they are very wonderful concepts, but Paryavaran and Paristhitiki, these are the terms which have been coined in modern Indian languages for environment and ecosystem or ecology. We don't have, in our tradition, we don't have this Paryavaran and Paristhitiki. They need not, they don't feel any need to talk about Paryavaran the way we talk about Paryavaran and Paristhitiki, this environment and ecosystem now. So how was that Sanskrit language doesn't have a word for environment or ecology? Because the concepts, the worldviews are altogether different, and that have changed because of the period of colonization. Our perspectives have changed. So there was a holistic perspective which our ancient were having about what we call environment now. Because environment, as we understand now, is nothing different from the human being. A human being is a part of the environment, as much a part of the environment as much the nature, the trees, the fountains, the mountains are parts of the environment. So it is all together. So the idea of togetherness, that we are together, that we are invariable part of this whole system, which you can now say environment. So when we are not different from it, we don't have a word for it. When there is some injury in my hand, I do not say that my hand is ill or my hand is injured. I say that I am injured. So if there is an injury in the environment, the human beings feel that it is our injury because we are a part of it. If the trees are ill, or if the trees are failing, being cut down, the human beings at that time feel that we are, it is our life is being taken away from us, because they feel a kind of harmony and unity with them. There's one single consciousness pervading in the human body and in what we call environment. So because there is no compartmentalization, there is no dichotomy, there is no difference, so we don't have different words for that. We have other words. About that I would like to talk to you. And we feel that everything is pervaded by a divine presence. Gods are everywhere. Gods are in the human body. Every part and limb of the human body is enshrined with gods. And gods are in the trees, gods are in the rivers, gods are in the mountains. So they are one with us. The whole system, the whole cosmos is divine to them, to the seers. And there is a concept of Aditi. So Aditi is the mother of all. So from Aditi everything comes. Even the gods come from the Aditi. And then if everything is divine and gods are everywhere, then everything should be worshipped like a god. So trees should also be worshipped like gods. Mountains should also be worshipped like gods. The rivers are mothers or they are goddesses. So there is a very wonderful hymn in Rig Veda about the forest. But the forest is called Aranyani, a divine being. And the whole ecosystem is there. How the persons, the laborers are cutting the branches of the trees. They are taking the branches of the trees for their fuel, for burning their chulha. And how the birds are cooing, how the noises are arising, how the fountains are flowing. All these are described in a very picturesque way. But this is divine. He said it is all Aranyani Devi. So the whole flora and fauna is Aranyani Devi. So in this way they would talk about what we call environment. And Aditi is the presiding deity or goddess of environment, we can say. But Aditi herself is not separate from environment, because she percolates everything. So Aditi is everywhere. Aditir Dyaur, Aditir Antariksham, Aditir Mata sa Pita sa Putra, is a very famous hymn in Rig Veda. So Aditi is whole cosmos, the goddess Aditi. It is Dyav, it is orbit, it is sky, and it is earth. Everything is Aditi, and everything is pervaded by Aditi. She is eternal and omnipresent. And she is the primordial mother also, because everything comes from her. So this concept of primordial mother, but it's a different concept. So concept, it is not like a single human being or a single idol. So it is pervades everything. This is the feeling about what we call environment. And this environment has three levels of its existence: empirical level, psychic level, and spiritual level. And they are united together. No single level is complete in itself. It cannot be viewed in isolation. So Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, and Adhyatmik, as the seers call them. So the empirical, the psychic, and the spiritual or divine, they are knit together. They are not separate, because empirical is the base for all. This earth, the trees, the mountains, the soil of this earth, the agricultural land, they are all the base. So the divine is there also. So the whole empirical level and the psychic level, where we view the gods, where imagination happens, where we write poems, and then the spiritual level. So these three levels of existence, of human existence, of the environmental existence, they are knit together, and they are not separate from each other. And Aditi functions to create this healthy environment on all the three levels. She not only pervades this earth and with all its surroundings, she is conspicuous by her presence in the world beyond this earth also. So the earth, water, fire, wind, and space, these five elements, Mahabhutas, the Aditir Dev, Aditir Antariksham, Aditir Dev, Aditir Mata, Sapita, Saputra, Aditi Pancha Bhutani. The seers say that Aditi is five elements as well. And these five elements constitute this Brahmanda, or this universe. So these they are all the forms of Aditi. And the seers therefore say that Aditi is this earth and Aditi is sky as well. So feeling the presence of Aditi, the seers envisage an infinity between man and his environment. Aditi initiates an interplay between sentient and the insentient. This division, of course, is there. Sthavar and Jangam is there. The trees are not mobile. There are other things which are mobile, but everything is. I have used this word sentient and insentient. Actually, it's a wrong nomenclature. When they say Sthavar and Jangam, they do not mean that divine presence and consciousness is not there in the Sthavar or the trees or the mountains. They do not move. But the divine consciousness is there. It is embedded everywhere. So everything is Chetan that way. And whether it is movable or immovable, everything is pervaded by a divine presence. And man is not different from this environment. So the elements or the Panchamahabhutas reflect the inner yearnings of human beings, and the mountains then become gods, the rivers become goddesses. Human beings should therefore bear goodwill for all. So when they need not say that save environment, because the environment, what you understand as environment, is not different from them. So there is a scene in the play of Kalidasa Abhigyan Shakuntal that the king Dushyanta is chasing a deer, an antelope. So it's a small mrag shavak he is chasing, and he is just to shoot an arrow on the deer. Then suddenly two boys from the hermitage, from the ashram, run suddenly and stand before him, bare breast. They are standing before him, and the arrow is just to shoot. And they shout, "Don't shoot an arrow on this deer. He belongs to us. He is not different from us." So it is like shooting an arrow on our chest. They are bare chest. They are standing before the king who is just going to shoot, because they feel that if the deer is killed, they are being killed. So they will save the deer. It is dearer to them. The environment that was dearer to them. It is the very soul, because the whole very sanctity of the hermitage or the ashram is being spoiled by the king. He is a violent motive within. So this motif of hunting, which is there in Kalidasa's play, it denotes a different cultural view, and the culture of the city, the citizens, and this culture of the our culture of the seers. They feel that the deer is as much as we are. So he is not different from them. So they would save the deer by giving up their lives. It happened earlier that the king shot an arrow and the seer died, to save the animal. So everything is so precious, everything is so divine, that human beings are not allowed to have any violence. So if you cut a tree, the Puranas say that it is sin. It is sin, like killing a human being, because the tree is a living body. The rivers are living bodies. So it is what that is how they feel. So polluting a river is like killing a human being. So the vision of Aditi, which the seers had, and which it gave them the experience of divine presence and a universal order, which they call Rita. So this, because of this worldview that there is a universal order and everything is divine, our idea of Earth, of cosmos, and our view of life is a bit different. And uh, then coming to this further development in the philosophies, we then have this concept of Ashtamurti, the five Mahabhutas, and the moon and the sun and the human being. They are called Ashtamurti. It is whole Brahmanda in this way. Five Mahabhutas, human beings, and the planets, or the sun and the moon, etc. So it is all Shiva. These are the 8 forms of Shiva. So Shiva lives in them. Shiva resides in them. In this Ashtamurti Vigraha of Shiva, and in this way, five elements find a prominent place in the conceptual framework for man and his world. And the whole Sanskrit literature unfolds this view. It is only after the 18th century that we altogether lost this view. And now, if the trees are being cut, we say that save the trees, don't cut the trees, because we say it because we feel that trees are something different from us. If the trees are cut, the air will be polluted. The seers won't say like this. If the trees are cut, they would feel that our bodies are being cut, because the trees are not different from them. Now, in my city or in several cities, I see that hundreds and hundreds of trees are being cut every day. And these people talk of Indian culture, Indian values, and Indian knowledge systems. Our seers say that cutting a tree is equal to murdering a human being. This is what Puranas say. And we are murdering thousands and thousands of human beings, which are trees, every day. And we don't feel the pain. The seers used to feel the pain, because I somehow connect to the tradition. I feel the pain of trees being cut for this development, uh, for building up highways, flyovers. Hundreds and hundreds of trees are being cut every day, and it is just excuse, because they could have maintained the balance. They could have done without cutting the trees. The development could have done that way, because they are all after money. So this greed for money, that we will make money by making all these highways. So many 6 lanes, 8 lanes are not needed where they are being created, because there is a whole network nexus. So all this is happening, and trees are being cut down, and nobody feels the pain. So I, as coming from the tradition of Sanskrit literature, whosoever may be feeling bad about it, whatever I say about it, but I would like to say that this sin of murder is being committed in many cities every day, and the environment is being polluted that way. So coming to ancient Sanskrit literature, in Mahabharata, Shanti Parva, Bhishma says that no tree should be cut, and nobody should be allowed to cut a tree, because cutting a tree is committing adharma. And then he says that why I am saying this, because trees are living bodies. These are very beautiful passages from the Mahabharata. It is Manusmriti also says that trees are living bodies. So ghananam api vrakshanam akashosti na shanshaya. The trees have spaces within them, and they bloom in the form of flowers and uh, fruits. As a human being, a woman gives birth to a child, the trees give birth to the fruits and flowers. Their flowers are uh, they are blooming in the sunshine, and uh, they become lan when the season is not suitable to them. So they feel the cold, they feel the rains, they feel the heat, they perspire, they feel the touch of human beings. This is what Bhishma says. वायुअग्नि अशनि निष्पेषि फलम पुष्पम विशीर्यते श्रोत्रेण गृह्यते शब्दस् तस्मात् शृण्वन्ति पादपाः. If you make a noise, the trees are hurt because they can hear you. The trees are like human beings. The creeper embraces a tree. The creeper finds her own tree. So Valli Veshtete Vraksham. In my garden, I see that I want to remove the creeper. I want to climb it from the other way, but she knows her way, and she would creep from that way only, because she understands her way and her tree. So Bhishma says that the creeper or the Valli or Lata knows how to proceed, how to go above, and she recognizes her tree, and therefore she can see. She has eyes. She has her own eyes, and the trees become ill. The trees are healthy like human beings. They get vyadhis, and they are happy, they rejoice, they feel, they drink water through their roots. So therefore they are called padapa. There is a word padapa in Sanskrit for trees, for a tree. So pada is foot, and padapa, padai pivati iti padapa. A person who drinks with his foot is padapa. So because trees drink water from their roots, and the roots are their padapa, so then there is a whole metaphor, a human body as a metaphor for the tree. So the roots are their feet, the branches are their hands and their trunk, and their shoulders, and their head. All these are described metaphorically, and the trees are viewed as human beings because they are not different from human beings that way. So these are, modern science would also confirm this. But the seers had this view because of their vision for life, their vision for their cosmic view, and therefore in our literature what happens, that trees function as human beings, the creepers become ladies, the ladies are transformed into creepers, as in Kalidasa's Vikramorvashiyam. Urvashi is transformed into a creeper, or the rivers are transformed as goddesses, as in Bhavuti's place. The two rivers come as goddesses. They are characters in the play. So there is nothing unrealistic about it. Them, it is not idealistic that way. To them, it is reality that Ganga is a divine being. She arises like a human being. Any river would arise like a human being. So because they see the human body, the human vigrah in the flowing of the rivers and in the blooming of the trees. So this was the view. That view gradually died by the onslaught of feudalism, and then later in the medieval age, and finally during the colonial period. So our seers periodically reminded us that we are being uh, cut off from the original worldview of our ancients. So Krishna, when he goes as a messenger for peace to bring Duryodhana to sense and to say that don't have a war, so war should not happen. He tells Duryodhana that this Dhatarashtra, your father is like a forest, and Pandavas are like tigers. So the tiger saves the forest, and the forest saves the tiger. So if you are destroying the Pandavas, if you try to destroy the Pandavas, your father will not survive. It is like a relationship of the tiger and the forest. So the tiger survives because of the forest, and the forest survives because of the tiger. This is the metaphor which Krishna gives to make to come Duryodhana to his sense. And again, he says that it is a relationship like creepers and trees. You are like creepers, and the Pandavas are like trees. You depend on them. So it is coexistence. So in the way the creepers and trees have coexistence, human beings should have the coexistence. These are the words of Krishna. वनम राजा धृतराष्ट्र सपुत्रो व्याघ्रा वै संजय पांडुपुत्रा मा वनम छिंदिस्य स व्याघ्रम मा व्याघ्रान नीनशो वनात्. So what we are saying now, that save the tiger to save the forest, because they understood the mutual relationships. So they need not they need not give a call for saving one only. We say save the tiger. They say that save both, and we will survive. Both are there because we depend on them and they depend on us. It is the coexistence and inter-support for each other. So this is the idea of environment in ancient Sanskrit literature, and in all our great classics, this idea is reflected, and the great seers and the poets of Sanskrit literature, they give this message. So when we are talking about the environment, the affinity with the environment, we should feel that idea of affinity with environment. Perhaps there is a possibility that it will return to us. When it will return to us, that we are one with them, when this idea percolates in our mind, then only the real saving of environment would be possible. Otherwise, this race for development will be killing the environment. So with these words, I come to the end of my statement. Thank you very much for giving me this patient listening. Thank you.